What I love about Alita and how different she is from superhero films that are so popular right now is that she has super abilities in a way because she's of a technology that no longer exists, but she's just a hero. She's someone who becomes a hero. She's not a superhero per se. She doesn't have special powers. She has unique abilities and fighting capabilities because of when she was created and born, but she has a human brain and human emotions, and she's someone, unlike a lot of superhero stories are about characters who may have a good heart, but they become warriors, find their warrior spirit. She's already a warrior. She's already the best. She just needs to remember that. But more than that, she needs to her discovery is of her own heart and her own sort of morality and humanity that she never had as a warrior. So that's kind of the twist on this story. Different even from Jim's other characters, female character protagonists like Sarah Connor and Ripley, where you have them transform into the warrior. This girl is a warrior. She was born a warrior. And so it's cool to see her remember that and unleash that, but then to now have something behind it because through her relationship, she becomes human. You can identify with this girl's journey because of who she is and the humanity that she represents. Just like you don't have to be British to watch James Bond. Making it so specific, it becomes more universal. And that's what Jim taps into in his female protagonist and in Alita, is the universality of what the character is going through. That you can watch this and completely identify with it and feel like it's your journey as well, even though it's a cyborg girl from Mars. So that's the magic of Jim. He really wanted me to make it my movie, and I kept encouraging him to make it his too, because I want to make a Jim Cameron movie. I make my movies all the time. I wanted to make something that resembled more of a Jim Cameron movie by grounding it more in reality the way he does, by really honoring his style, because that's what I would have wanted to see. I wanted to see Jim Cameron's Alita, not the Robert Rodriguez Alita movie. I wanted to see Jim Cameron's version, like what I read in the script, because it was so well laid out in the script. So I really wanted to shoot it very similar to how he would do it. What I love is that the very beginning is straight out of the manga. It begins in the scrapyard in Edo, going through the scrapyard of trash that falls from Zalem into Iron City, which is the factory town that makes goods and for Zalem and ships them up there. And Edo is a cyber surgeon, kind of searching for lost body parts or pieces of technology he can use for his clinic to help repair cyborgs. They can go about their daily work in completing work for the factory and for Zalem. And he discovers a cyber body there in the rubble of an intact human brain encased inside of a cyber core. He takes it home, and it reminds him of his young daughter that he's lost. So he repairs her and proceeds to raise her as his daughter. The story takes place about 600 years into the future. And about 300 years before that, that's when the future kind of became the past, because there was what was called the fall and technology kind of went away. So technology like Alita hasn't existed in 300 years by this point. So Iron City is the last of the great cities below a floating sort of sky city called Zalem. And people from all over, a melting pot of people, have come to live in Iron City, and they all wish they could go up to Zalem, but they can't. That elevator has been torn down since 300 years ago. No one can go up there, so they can only dream about it. This is a little more inviting because even though it's dystopian, you're not seeing it that way because we're seeing it through her eyes. It's very much through the eyes of Alita, this whole movie. She sees the beauty that others there probably can't see. Where Hugo wants to escape and go to Zalem, and she's like, what's wrong with this place? And it's like, it's a cesspool. She can't tell. She thinks she sees the beauty in it, and so do we. So the perspective is what's important, and that's what makes her such a special character. She affects everybody that she sees. She affects the city, she affects the citizens, and we all see it through her eyes.